Kellogg's may have reported sales growth before the bell. It's still warned of supply chain and cost inflation headwinds. The shares are up 0.75%. Steve Cahillane is the chairman and chief exec of Kellogg's. He joins me. Steve, it is good to see you, sir. So to focus first of all on, if you like, the issue du jour, which is, I think, this question of inflation, because supply chain inflation implies that companies like yours are also having difficulty getting the raw materials necessary to make the packaged goods to supply to grocery stores.
Yeah, Richard, that's right. It's good to be with you. I think a couple of things are going on behind the inflation. One is just regular commodity inflation. Commodities are spiking. We're seeing them at quite high rates. But what you point out, it's really the dislocation that's happened in the supply chain, the ability to get labor, to get product moved from point A to point B, to get things as simple as pallets and containers. There's been a bit of dislocation between the supply demand that's increased the cost level on top of the commodities, which leads to an environment where costs are, really at highs we haven't seen in really 10 years or so.
I'm looking at your numbers in terms of distribution of the company, and you're not quite 50-50 for US overseas, but in fact you're a bit off that. But the US is still the largest part of the company. In that environment, are you concerned at the Delta variant here, which has taken hold, which is already affecting your non-US operations?
Yeah, so we've been, battling the pandemic like everybody from the very beginning. And it's true that several weeks back, it looked like there was a light at the end of the tunnel in the United States. And the COVID variant has clearly changed that. But we have to stick to our same priorities. We have to keep our people safe. We have to keep providing food to the marketplace and keep our safety protocols in place. So from a supply standpoint, we've been able to make our way through it. From a demand standpoint, more working from home and less mobility, we're built for that. So, we'll continue to battle through the pandemic, keeping our people safe and supplying food in as safe a way as possible.
Where do you stand on vaccine mandates now? We're getting to the point, as the mayor of New York says, if you want to take a full role in play a part in society, you have to be vaccinated. It's time. Would you mandate?
So right now we are strongly encouraging our associates to get the vaccination. We're doing that through education. We're doing that through bringing in outside experts to talk about the science, to talk about the real facts, to remove as many hindrances as possible in terms of the way that people think about it. Strongly encouraging is where we are right now. We're not doing any mandates, and we're seeing very good uptake in terms of people inside Kellogg taking the vaccination.
And working from home. Now, I understand if you're on the factory, if you're in the production facility, you can't exactly work from home. But obviously, you have a lot of people who are not in those positions. Are companies going to live up to the promises that they made, that you recognize that there has been a shift in the workforce and expectations of work-life balance?
Yeah, so Richard, I can only speak for us here at Kellogg, but what we've been talking about at the right time is a new program called Locate for Your Day. And ultimately, I see a place inside Kellogg where at least half the work is still done in the office, if not more. But that means, half or so time can be spent working remotely. And I think it's important to focus on, when we say locate for your day, what do you need to accomplish that day? If it's about collaboration, if it's about innovation, if it's about team building, then clearly those things are best done in person. If it's catching up on a lot of paperwork and emails and things that are best done between you and a screen, then sure, working from home and having all that flexibility is something that we will, in fact, give to our associates.
I think that's one of the most sensible expositions of the policy of working from home and hybrid working that I've heard. Sir, Steve, thank you. I appreciate you giving me time. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you, Richard.